Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Unquestionably Raw NBA podcast. We got a really good live show for everybody tonight. We're going to do the top 22 under 22. Bleacher Report did a list. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. Then the big topic, the MVP debate. I know a lot of people have been talking about that the last few days, so we're going to jump into that. We got Gonzo back with us. We got Julian. I got my man Kurt Lowe back with us. Say what's up, Kurt Lowe.
Hey, appreciate you having me on your show, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to get into this first topic. Bleacher Report just, they came out with their top 22 players in the NBA under 22. Julian, I'm going to go to you first. You got any thoughts on this? A couple of guys maybe should have been on it that weren't.
No, not really. I'm looking at it right now. I'm seeing Dragon Bender, Hernan Gomez. What else we got?
Let me ask you this then. Is there anybody on the list that you were surprised that they were either too low, too high?
No, not at all. Looks good to me.
So because the guy I was thinking of, and everybody can jump in on this one, I saw Emmanuel Mudiay at 15, and at 14 we got Dante Exum, and those are the two that I'm not sure about that high. Gonzo, what are your thoughts?
They're pretty low though. I mean,
yeah.
I got a question about this list, and I'm just looking at this list now because I was trying to find it earlier and I couldn't find it. I question who was this I was looking at just a minute ago? Stanley Johnson, no way. Kelly Oubre, no way. Justice Winslow, no way. Emmanuel Mudiay should not even be on this list. I don't think he's that good. Dante Exum has shown nothing. Maybe a couple of good games. Early on in the year, but I mean nothing to really write home about. Marquise Chris should definitely be on this list. Julian Okafor.
that was the one guy I had a problem with. He should be not on the list at all.
And
Really?
maybe it's the Sixers' fault though. I think because they haven't
His
been
rebounding
playing
and defense, man.
I mean, but we're talking about the top 22 under 22. I mean, he did have a really good season. He just doesn't play a lot of defense. And he's a subpar rebounder for a big guy.
Yeah, Ingram shouldn't have been on this list. No way. Miles Turner, they got that right. Porzingis, obviously. Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, they got the top five right. Devin Booker, yeah, he's definitely on the list. I don't know. It's just the bottom list. Thon Maker, I don't think he should have been on the list due to the fact he hasn't gotten enough minutes yet to really see what he can do. I honestly think he should be playing right now, but I'm not a coach, so
he starts huge minutes. So there's that. Kurt Lowe, you got any thoughts on this top 22 under 22 list?
What's the top 10? I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Okay, let me give you the 10. The 10.
Boy.
Yeah, let me give you the top 10 here. Let me go down. Okay, at 10. And everybody listening, you'll get this too. I'm gonna start with 11 just because I like this dude. They got Jamal Murray at 11. They got Jaylen Brown 10. Aaron Gordon 9. Brandon Ingram is 8. Zach LaVine is 7. D'Angelo Russell 6. Devin Booker 5. They got Jabari Parker 4. Miles Turner 3. They got KP 2 and Karl Anthony Towns 1. I noticed the laugh when they put Ingram on there. Give me your thoughts on Brandon Ingram.
No, not Ingram. Aaron Gordon. What the hell is he doing on that list? He's been a bust ever since he came in the league. Him and that Mario guy, man. The Magic need to learn how to draft well. I mean, they just drafting bust after bust after bust. I mean, just keep going. Other than Alpha Payton, I mean, they've been horrible.
In Mario Hezonja's defense, he was not on the list.
He shouldn't be. And Julian Okafor either, because Julian Okafor, he has cement in his shoes when it comes. He reminds me of Greg Monroe on defense, man. They just don't know how to move their feet on defense. It's that bad. You know what I'm saying? And I seen Exum. I seen that game that Utah. I was at that Utah game. I got to meet Eddie Johnson. They was honoring him, and they had Exum on Harden. That only lasted 2 minutes because he had picked up 2 fouls real quick. You know what I'm saying? And the coach put him right on the bench. So I don't know what's going on with Exum.
And Exum's supposed to be a defender too.
Yes, sir. He's not. With Mudiay, let me tell y'all something, man. And a lot of people not gonna see it yet. Cameron Payne is the best point guard in his draft class, and that comes with Moutier and D'Angelo Russell. Let me tell you something. 95% of people disagree with that, but you don't see it now. But give it 2 or 3 years. This man is very, very talented. He should be on that list.
For Gonzo and my sakes as Bulls fans, yeah, we hope that's the case because they gave up a lot to get him. So I hope he turns out. D'Angelo Russell, he's starting to show some signs.
Oh, absolutely. He reminds me of Harden talent. It's only going to be how hard he works if he's going to be, because Harden he improves his game, offensive game, something new to his game every year. And he did it this time with a new floater. You know what I'm saying? So if he can do that, and he show hard work in class because he had all the talent. He's a lazy passer. Whenever they decide to move him to shooting guard instead of making him the point guard,
yes,
he's gonna succeed in the NBA.
Yes,
in that point guard because he's a lazy passer.
Absolutely, I mentioned that a couple weeks ago when we were on that would be when the draft comes up. If they're able to if they get top 3 and they can keep their pick, go point guard, take Lonzo Ball or whoever, and just slide D'Angelo to the 2.
I agree 100%. Once they do that, you'll see a whole different change. And people don't see Brandon Ingram yet. Don't see him. And people are disrespecting him. Let me tell you something, man. That's the next Kevin Durant in this league.
Yes.
I wrote an article on this. You know what I'm saying? I've been scouting him. You know, this is what I do when it comes to stuff like that, because I was a former collegiate scout down in South Florida, and when I was younger. But you don't see it now. He's way too young to be in the league. Just like Andrew Wiggins was way too young to be in the league. You know, a couple others that came into the league way too young, and they should have waited 2 or 3 years to stay in college and then come to the NBA. But this kid right here, Brandon Ingram will be the best player on the Lakers, guaranteed.
And I know everybody saw it last night when he boomed on Alex Len, drove it baseline right over the top of him.
Yeah, you'll see flashes. That's the thing you look for with young players. You want to look for flashes. What part of this the game did he show off? You're like, wow, that was an amazing shot. Oh wow, that was an amazing dunk or layup. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Those are the things you look for with young players.
Absolutely, Gonzo. What are your thoughts on Brandon Ingram?
One more thing, gentlemen. I want to interrupt real quick.
Go ahead.
Jaylen Brown. People are sleeping on Jaylen Brown. This kid has all the talent I've seen. It reminds me, just when I see him play, again, you're not going to see it yet, but when I see him play, he reminds me of Dominique Wilkins' talent. Okay. You don't see it yet.
Absolutely. Gonzo, what are your thoughts on Jaylen Brown and Brandon Ingram?
I think Jaylen Brown is actually way ahead of the curve with Brandon Ingram, honestly. I think they could plug Jaylen Brown in right now. As a starter, he can get you 15 points a game. I really believe he can do that. Because he can play defense, too. He's not a bad defender either. You know, he's a decent defender. He can score. He can shoot the 3. And he's not scared of the challenge. He actually stands up to competition. He's willing to go out and stick LeBron. He's willing to go out and stick Steph Curry. Brandon Ingram, last night, he kind of looked like he had that dog in him at certain points in the game. I think what Brandon Ingram's going to have to do, he's going to have to put on not a lot of weight, but just a little more muscle. I think that would actually help him a whole lot, a little more strength. But like you say, he's so young. I don't really want to make a judgment on him right away. I just don't think he should have been that high up on the list right now.
This is what I think we can all agree on, that he needs to eat some mustard sandwiches over the off season.
Put him in the closet and let him eat all day. You know what I'm saying? Just lock him in there.
Yes, hopefully Magic can do some things with him. Julian, what are your thoughts on Jaylen Brown and Brandon Ingram?
My thoughts on Brandon Ingram, he's got a long ways to go, but he's the second youngest player in the league. Yeah, he's got a huge wingspan, so I mean that's going to help him on defense and rebounding. I saw that game last night. Who did he dunked on somebody?
He dunked on Alex Len.
Yeah, I like that. Jaylen Brown, I could see him being the next Jimmy Butler. He's kind of like him.
That's a good comparison. And you know the good thing that Jaylen Brown has, he's young. So he should only be a sophomore in college. Jimmy played all 4 years. You know, got to represent Tom Ball right there. I know Jimmy doesn't say Houston. He says Tom Ball. So we got to shout out Tom.
Hey, anybody that say they from Tom Ball is from Houston. Don't let them lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's like if you say you're from
Tomball is not a damn city.
And that's why even if you say you're from Beaumont, you're from Houston.
Yeah. I mean, just like with UGK, you know what I'm saying? They're from Port Arthur. Yep. They're from Houston.
Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson. Man, he's a mean guy.
And Cadillac Anderson for all you old heads out there. Port Arthur. Mm-hmm. All right, now I want to get into this topic here, and I was inspired topic because I think it was Wednesday. I put out a tweet on Twitter, basically saying, and it's referring to the MVP debate. Going into the season when ESPN did their rankings, they had Oklahoma City had, other than Russell Westbrook, they had 3 guys ranked ahead of the Rockets' second best player, which was Eric Gordon. And I got so many people coming after me saying how I was detached from reality for saying Russell Westbrook has good teammates, saying he's not the MVP. It's crazy. And obviously there's other guys in there, Isaiah Thomas, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Kurt Lowe mentioned it, earlier before we went live, John Wall, all good choices and all. But I guess the real meat potatoes is Harden versus Westbrook. I'm going to you, Kurt Lowe.
Harden versus Westbrook. Man, you know what? I've had so much hate for this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just got to mute everybody because they just get on my damn nerves. You know what I'm saying? I love all the Houston Rocket fans. I love all the, everybody else fans.
Uh-oh. I think the Gremlins got him. I'm going to go to you, Gonzo, until we get Kurt Lowe back.
Okay. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook does not have a lot of help, but I think Oladipo is a decent second guy. What is he? He's averaging like 15, 16 points a game.
Steven Adams is a good player. I mean, this is the thing, though. I'm not saying this is like a championship level supporting cast. I'm not going to go that far because that's not being realistic. But This is not the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. Exactly.
Like they are a playoff team. Like
yes,
they missed one superstar. They still had one. They still have a superstar left, and then they went and got a feasible shooting guard who's putting up 16 points, 15, 16 points a game. He's playing good defense. I'm gonna tell you something. This is what made me change my mind about Russell Westbrook as the MVP. The other night I watched the Portland game. They clearly had a chance to win, right? But Russell Westbrook came down on a few fast breaks and tried to make layups on 3 people. Part of being a great basketball player is trusting your teammates. He has no trust in those open guys. He will not give them the ball. He just feels like he has to do it. And at certain points in the game, and I think we penalized LeBron for doing it. Like they talked about LeBron not taking the last second shot against the Celtics last week. But he gave the ball to a wide open guy in the corner in Darren Williams. That's smart.
He made the right basketball play.
Exactly. He trusted his teammates enough to say, I'm passing to a wide open guy. Why try to take it double team myself? So I respect LeBron a lot more, and I don't give him as much criticism as I used to because I understand what he's thinking. Russell Westbrook hasn't got that. He hasn't gotten that. He hasn't gotten the memo yet that you have to trust your teammates in order to be a great basketball player. James Harden, on the other hand, he trusts his teammates, and a lot of these guys he hasn't played with before.
Now here I'm gonna play devil's advocate only because that's what I have to do tonight. Because as everybody knows, I'm on the James Harden bandwagon for MVP. Let me throw that out there. But as someone, let's say I'm on the Russell Westbrook bandwagon, I'm gonna say to you, as a Harden supporter, well, James Harden has better shooters around him, so he can trust his shooters where Westbrook can't. That's what they say. That's what they're gonna say. That's what the RWDC will say. So Gonzo, how would you respond to that?
It's still a great. You got to think of it this way: a good 3-point shooter is usually shooting about maybe 35, 36%, right? A good 3-point shooter. The elite 3-point shooters are usually shooting anywhere from 40 to 45%, right?
Yeah.
So, the 3-point shot is not really a high percentage shot unless you're Steph Curry. or Klay Thompson, should I say, or Reggie Miller or Ray
Otto
Allen.
Porter.
Maybe, just maybe a few, So for him to even to trust those guys to take that shot when James Harden can get to the basket almost at will and draw fouls as often as possible, he's still allowing sometimes to get your teammates to make shots. A lot of times that trust in them makes those shots go in. You allowing them to be part of the offense. You're hitting them wide open.
I know Kurtlow could jump in on this, but look what Harden has done for guys like Nene, Montrezl Harrell, and Capella. Westbrook could do that for Steven Adams and guys like that. Go ahead, Kurtlow, jump in.
Man, people just don't understand how angry this makes me. Like, they just forget that, Russell Westbrook is shooting 33% and 41% from the field, 42. The guy's overshooting games and they're losing games because of him. All right. Now, this teammate thing, world had the Houston Rockets teammates above them, above the OKC teammates. You know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, well, Harden's got so many players. You always make an excuse to why Harden shouldn't be MVP or the Rockets, or why the Rockets are doing so good. It's got nothing to do with James Harden. It drives me insane, man. Listen, okay, Oladipo is better than any player on the Houston Rockets. Period. They look good now because James Harden makes them look great.
Yes,
he's looking for these guys.
Hey, Kurtlow, you could make the argument Steven Adams is better than anybody the Rockets have.
I doubt that.
Maybe I'm a big Adams fan. Let me throw that out there. I like Steven Adams.
He's not better than Clint Capella. A lot of people don't see that. Hey, Capella's averaging since the post All-Star. He's averaging 15 and 9 since that. So, and Steven Adams is digressed.
I think a lot of that is Westbrook doesn't throw him the ball.
I agree, 100%. There it is.
That's what I'm saying. He does not use like.
But how do you not give?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how do you get all that many assists and you shoot that many damn shots? I mean, is it off rebounds? I mean, some of them look great and all, but it just don't make sense to me.
I think a lot of it is because, and I haven't watched every Oklahoma City game, but I've seen enough. He's always in attack mode, which is not bad. I'm not hating on him for that. And I think all of us will agree Westbrook is a great player. Nobody's taking anything away. Caught up trying to score. There's nothing there, and he kind of passes it out as a second option because there's nothing else to do. He's not trying to get his teammates involved.
And that's the biggest problem. I mean, how are you going to – you're the point guard of the team. There's a reason why Kevin Durant left the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people don't want to bring it up 24/7. Yes, but Kevin Durant left
season of
Russell
his career.
Westbrook.
And KD's having the best season of his career.
Absolutely. And on defense end, too. A lot of people don't notice that. But he's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year if he wasn't hurt.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's part of it. Like, a lot of people look at Curry as that score-first point guard, but look what Curry sacrificed to get Kevin Durant comfortable. Would Russell Westbrook do that?
Nope, and that's the problem. No. But you know what? It's the coaching. That's got a lot to do with it, and the character of a player. I hate to say it like that, but it is the character.
And here, to your point earlier when you said no one had the Rockets doing anything, this and that, you're right. But also another thing, nobody liked the signing of Mike D'Antoni. People were hating on that.
Oh, I did too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know we weren't gonna play no damn defense like we did that whole Utah game. We didn't play a damn lick of defense. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You know what I learned? This is the problem with the Rockets in the defense. Capella keeps switching off guards on pick and roll. And guarding the rim and rebounding, but they bring him off that. And I was learning from Antonio Daniels. I was talking to him the other day for the former Spurs, and he was saying specifically that's D'Antoni's offense. They switch 1 and 5 every time. That's what they do. They want to do that. So on defense, so that's a big time problem. That leaves the goal wide open, and that leaves a mismatch 24/7. And that's no wonder I see that.
Julian, what are your thoughts on this whole Russell Westbrook versus James Harden debate?
Well, first off, let me start out by saying everybody thought the Rockets were going to be the 8th seed and a 500 team, And
That's not real quick, Julian. That's not true. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna toot my own horn, and I'm gonna toot
ESPN did.
Kurt Lowe and Moochie's horn, because when we did our Rockets preview, Kurt Lowe and Moochie both, I believe, had the Rockets at 3. I had them at 5. I didn't have them 8. I don't know where Gonzo had them. Where'd you have them, Gonzo?
I had them going to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. I didn't, but I had them in the second
That's
round.
my dude.
Yes, there we go. Go ahead, Julian.
And then you got James Harden. He's leading them to the second best offense, and OKC's 16th in offense. So I mean, that's just that's proof that he's making his team and his teammates better. And to me, rebounding isn't really all that. It's not that important for guards. That's why, you see Westbrook's rebounding numbers are a little inflated because
he hunts rebounds.
I watch the games and the teammates are just boxing out everybody else, and they're not going for the rebounds, and Westbrook's getting the rebounds. Is that a fair assessment?
I think I mean, I'm not saying he does it all like completely, but he does kind of stat hunt to me. He's trying to get a triple-double every game. He knows what he's going after. I mean, and I think every one of us will give him all the props in the world if he averages a triple. Easy thing to do. This is not a let's hate. Like for me, at least, I was debating a couple guys on Facebook as well on this topic, and it's not. I'm not trying to hate on a guy like Russell Westbrook. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. He's great. He does all those great things. But I guess it's more ending his teammates. They are not bad teammates, and I'll be the first to admit they don't fit well with Russell Westbrook's game. That I will be fine. Like they need to build a team around him, like what the 76ers did with Allen Iverson. That's what Russell Westbrook needs. A bunch of guys who are going to play defense, have a couple guys who will make open threes. That's the kind of team they need to build around him.
Absolutely.
Thoughts, Gonzo?
I don't think much will help Russell Westbrook because I think his intents are selfish. Part of it is because he has to do most of the work, but a lot of times he has guys wide open. He will not pass the ball. I think sometimes he's hunting for triple doubles. My personal opinion. I don't even have him in the MVP discussion. Honestly, I really don't.
Wow.
I really don't have him in the discussion because
he's got to be in the discussion. I'm not saying he has to be in the discussion.
No, one reason why they are in the 6th spot.
They're 7th. They're tied. Well, they're tied for 6th. They're tied for 6 now. And the only reason why is because who's in 8th again?
They don't have a foot on the record, that's for sure.
Yeah, Denver Nuggets right now.
Denver's not really a good team. Who's number 7?
Oklahoma City's tied. Oklahoma City's 7 and Memphis is 6. It's like a tie.
Memphis 6. And one reason why they even tied with Memphis right now is because Memphis is Fizdale is mixing up the lineup because they have so many inconsistencies when it comes to scoring. If they had one legit scorer, they'll easily be better than OKC. Like Russell Westbrook I think he's a good second option for a team. I don't think he's a good first option for a team.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
Okay.
And I think
why KD left.
Exactly. That's exactly why KD left. Look, you're not going to win with Russell Westbrook, and we got to look at MVP. We always say who's the most valuable to their team. And we should really be talking about MVP. Not only are you valuable to your team, but are you able to get your team to a championship? Kind of add that in there. LeBron, he should always be in the MVP conversation. Kawhi Leonard should always be in the conversation because he does everything on both ends to kind of push his team to get to that point of possibly being a contender for Western Conference Final or make it to the NBA championship. James Harden does enough on his team to make his team good enough to the point now that nobody even predicted them to even be a playoff team.
Man, what about a guy nobody's talking about except me? What about Steph Curry? We know what he can do.
Steph Curry, absolutely. Hold on. Everybody gives him all this flack about not showing up against Cleveland. First of all, you got to look. They're playing in the playoffs. So by the time they get to the finals, teams are specifically looking to target to take you out of what you're comfortable doing. So now you have to find something different to do. He's a small guy. He's not that big. So he's going to need some type of help. But he got one ring out of it. He has a championship and 2 MVPs. Yes, he's a factor. A guy that hits 30-foot 3-point shots Trust me. And shoot him at like 40%. That guy right there to me is somebody that can get their team over the hump. He's an MVP twice. He's won the championship already. Yes, he's the most valuable player. James Harden is the most valuable player candidate. Why? Because look what he's done with this team.
Absolutely.
They got a bunch of new pieces. And look what they've done with that team. They went to bid and nobody predicted them to even make it to the AC before the season. And they're at third. There's only 2 MVP candidates I see right now. It's not LeBron, because LeBron is an MVP caliber player. So LeBron has so much help. Like, nobody talks about.
He does have help, but here's the one thing I will say: they are 4-19 when he does not play, and with this current group, in the times he doesn't play. So I will say that.
That's true, but I'm gonna give one thing. I'm gonna agree with Jalen Rose about something. Right now, Kawhi Leonard is my leading candidate for MVP. Why? Let's look at the Spurs roster. The LaMarcus Aldridge that the Spurs have is not LaMarcus Aldridge from Portland.
No, he's not even an all-star anymore. I wouldn't put him on a team. He's a good player.
Tony Parker is hurt. Mono Ginobili is always hurt. You got Dedmon. Paul Gasol isn't even the player he used to be. You know one thing about Kawhi Leonard? He's putting up points. He's shooting a good field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. His passing has gotten better. His rebounding totals are decent, and he's killing in the fourth quarter and guarding the best player on the other team every game.
Let me ask you this:
in the fourth quarters.
I got a question for everybody on the panel. If you put Kawhi Leonard on the Oklahoma City Thunder over Russell Westbrook, are the Thunder a 50-win team?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kurt Lowe, do they win 50 games if they got Kawhi instead of Westbrook?
No, because I know. Listen. People. I mean, I want to hate on Russell Westbrook more than anything because I don't want him taking James Harden. But I got to give this man respect. This man is averaging a triple-double, man. I've never seen that since Oscar Robertson. I mean, we say deflated stats. You know, there's a reason why. I've seen Russell Westbrook jump over 7-footers to grab a rebound, which is ridiculous and should be benched for that. But what he's doing for that team right now, that team wouldn't make it to 500. You know what I'm saying? So with Kyrie on it, I mean, I can't say his name. I hate that guy.
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I was doing this for like a good hour the other day, and I still can't get it. But putting him on that team, what Popovich has done with Leonard is turned him into a superstar. He didn't even know he had that in him. I'm gonna be real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? He always had that defensive presence, but Pop motivated him to be where he's at now. You put him on the OKC, there's no way in hell because he doesn't generate assists. He doesn't grab enough rebounds I think he grabbed like 6 rebounds. He should be grabbing more. He's got to. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Kyle Leonard's not doing the same as he would as Harden and Westbrook and LeBron are doing for their teams. Even John Wall are doing for their teams when it comes to generating assists for their team. So I look at it like that, and it's a lot harder. Let me tell you something, and this is where this triple doubles gets overrated. It's very easy to get a triple-double nowadays because you can't play defense in this NBA because any kind of touch fouls they call, and you never see the best defender on that best offensive player 24/7 throughout the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So it's not rare anymore. What's rare is a 50-40-90. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, averaging 50% field goal percentage, 3-point percentage 40, and then 90% free throw percentage. Nobody's doing that this year.
No, not even Curry. Curry's close. He's not close because he's only about 46% from the field.
Kawhi was close last year, wasn't he?
Curry did it. I know Curry did it last year. Kawhi was close.
Kawhi like 50.
I think Kawhi was slightly under 90 from the line.
Leonard's 3-point percentage and field goal percentage is significantly down from last year. Don't let that fool you. Okay, He's doing a great job. I understand 40% from 3-point. Not doing what Russell Westbrook and James Harden is doing.
That's true. I think it's tough to I guess that's a tough compare because they're like He's a small forward. Well, he's a small forward. He's not really the primary ball handler on the team, so I guess it's tough to compare the two. But I cannot hate on that opinion. But I'm glad you brought that up, like how much you respect Russell Westbrook, because I think a lot of times, and you probably get it on Twitter, they probably think you're a Russell Westbrook hater. That is not the case.
Oh man, okay.
And this is my biggest.
OKC fans hate me.
Westbrook. And I will say this now: if Oklahoma City wins 50 games, Russell Westbrook is my MVP. I will give him the MVP and have no problem with it. And it's like, and I'll go back. Everybody, like Kurt Lowe knows, I'm a Steph Curry. That's my dude. That's my guy. I would have voted for him in 2015. But I'll say this: had James Harden have won the MVP, I would not have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad. He deserved it too. They both did. That's one of those years you could be like, let's just give it a co-MVP. Like, because they both were fantastic. Yes, Curry had the numbers. They won all the games, the best team in the NBA. James Harden, even better numbers. The Rockets were better than everybody thought they would be, So, but it's just not hatred on anybody's part. Nobody hates Russell Westbrook. I think we go down this panel. Gonzo, is Russell Westbrook a top 5 player in the league?
I got him at 6.
I'll give you, we'll say 6. Julian, is Russell Westbrook a top 5 player?
Yeah, he's a top 4 player.
Okay. Kurt Lowe, where you got him?
I'm trying to think who the hell's in front of them.
I got him in the top 5.
Anthony Davis, Harden, Cummings. You know what? He's better than Leonard, and he's better than Curry, in my opinion.
So you got him in the top 5.
Yeah, I would. I would take Curry out.
Okay, there you go. See? Most of us, we all have him in the top 6. So, there's no hatred here. Everybody understands how great. And now, before we close this out, I want to go to each and every one of y'all. We did it a little bit the other day. But I'm going to go to you first, Gonzo. Who's your MVP, your rankings? Go 5 to 1.
My ranking first is
who do you got? So the people know where you're at.
It's hard for me to say because I got my first 2. It's kind of difficult, but I'm gonna put this player number 1 because of what he did to James Harden the other night. He clutch basket, good block.
That's
Kawhi Leonard's 1. James Harden is 2. I'll put Russell Westbrook at 3. At 4, I'll put John Wall, and at 5, I'll put LeBron James.
Okay, nice. Julian, who's your list?
I would have Kevin Durant on my list, but I would take him out now just because he got hurt.
Yeah, that's fair.
At 1, I got James Harden. 2, I got Kawhi Leonard. 3, I got LeBron. 4, I got Westbrook. And 5, I got John Wall.
Okay. Your list is close to mine, Julian. Kurt Lowe, how do you got him ranked 1 through 5 for MVPs right now?
I love the John Wall love, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, John Wall, real quick. He's 2nd in assists per game and 2nd in steals per game, man. That guy deserves a lot of damn credit, man. He's averaging.
And the Wizards are much better than on our Wizards season preview show. I said the Wizards could make the 8th seed if everything went right for them. Everything had to break right. They're now sitting tied in the loss column for 2nd place.
And it started.
That's John Wall, but let's not forget Bradley Beal has been great.
Bradley Beal's the man in the engine over there.
And I did predict him to be an all-star this year, and he was robbed. But what's your list looking like, Kurt Lowe? 1 through 5 for MVP.
Well, 5, I'm going to put KD, even though he's hurt, but I put him in front of LeBron this year. 4 would be 4 John Wall. I couldn't remember his damn name again. We just talked about 3 would be Leonard. 2 would be Russell Westbrook, and then 1 would be James Harden.
Okay, outstanding. Mine 5A and 5B. If you listen to the podcast the other day, y'all know my list. I got 5B Curry just because I had to put someone from Golden State on there. It would have been KD, but he's out for the rest of the year basically. 5A is Isaiah Thomas. At 4, I have Russell Westbrook. At 3, I got LeBron James. 2, Kawhi Leonard. 1, James Harden. And Kawhi Leonard's closing. He's getting there, but right now it's got to be Harden. I don't think there's any other choice. That's my opinion. Gonzo, you're not wrong either because this is one of those years where if they gave it to LeBron, Kawhi, or Harden, I don't think I wouldn't be pissed off mad. because they all deserve it. I mean, LeBron James is obviously the best player in the world, so if you want to. And another thing I wanted to say, for those who think Russell Westbrook is the MVP and his team's only going to win about 46 games, let's just rename the award to best player on an average team. Let's give it to Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Let's give it to Joel Embiid, because if he were playing all games, they would probably be the 8th seed in the East, because they're really good when Joel Embiid. Let's give Kobe Bryant should have won it in 06 when they won 43 games when he played with Smush Brown. I'm just saying. Let's rename the award. But if they win 50 games, Russell Westbrook hands down MVP. And this is what I'm going to get everybody's closing thoughts on that. Gonzo, if they win 50 games, is Russell Westbrook your MVP?
Yeah, but they won't win 50 games.
I'm just saying, no, it's a hypothetical. You answered it, though. You said yes. Julian, if OKC wins 50 games, is Westbrook your MVP?
As long as they're a top 5 seed, yeah, definitely.
Not top 5. No, not top 5.
Okay.
You got to win 50 games.
I would have to say no.
Okay, that's fair. Kurt Lowe, if they win 50 games, is Westbrook your MVP?
Oh, absolutely. If he was next to the Rockets right now or the Spurs, he would be MVP hands down. The media made it clear to everybody. The media made it clear to everybody that they're gonna give the MVP to the best player on the best team. Gonzo's not wrong when he says Leonard, because Leonard might win the damn MVP.
Yeah, he might.
And people gonna get mad, but he's gonna win that MVP. He might win that MVP. He's gonna be up there.
And Kurt Lowe, nobody should get mad if he wins it. He's a great player on a team with the second best record. So, I mean, because there has to be criteria. And it seems to me, and this is my biggest gripe this year, is the media, if they give it to Westbrook because he averages a triple-double and they don't win 50 games, they're changing their own criteria. And that's wrong to me. That winning has to count for something.
It does, but I'm going to tell you something, too, man. The reason why I kind of got Kawhi Leonard up there, too, is, James Harden is... The reason why James Harden should be in the discussion is because nobody predicted this team to be this good, and D'Antoni's coaching jobs have been awful. Every job since he left Phoenix has been pretty much terrible, right? And look what he's done with James Harden. He's pretty much revived the Rockets offense right now that looks better than Phoenix Suns offense, okay? Look like they're way more athletic. They're shooting threes at a ridiculous rate, and they're falling. And they're competitive every night, okay? That's one reason why he should be there. Everybody wants to give Russell the MVP because he has a lot of triple. He's averaging a triple-double, and he's in the playoff hunt. But let's look at Kawhi Leonard's team again. I keep saying, look at it. You got guys like DeJounte Murray. You got Dedmon. You got a bunch of guys on their team there that aren't really
They have good players, but they're good players. Outside of Patty Mills, though, their good players are old.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Some of that credit goes to Kawhi, though. It's teams have to count for him.
But one thing you're not talking about, Kurt Lowe will be on me on this one. The greatness of Greg Popovich.
I mean, that's true, but you still got to go out there and execute. Look, last night, Kawhi Leonard was double teamed a couple of times in the post, and I mean, this guy was hitting him with the dream up and under shake and was doing hook shots, and they were falling. Look at how his game has evolved. Like Kurt Lowe said, when he was at San Diego State, he was a defensive guy who can rebound. He was not a 3-point shooter.
No.
He was not a post up guy.
He had a broke jump shot.
No. Yeah. Look what he's doing now. He's shooting 37, 38 threes. He's shooting 49% from field goals. He's shooting 88 from the line. And we keep forgetting this here. Even if he doesn't get the MVP, he's got the MVP that counts. MVP of the finals. He locked down the best player in the world on the biggest stage of NBA basketball. Made him leave his team.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what, though? That goes to show, because 2 years in a row, the guy who won Finals MVP might not have been the best player on the team. Because Kawhi won it that year. Duncan was probably, to me, still the best player. And then Curry was the best player on the Warriors. Iguodala gets it. Why? Defense. It just goes to show how important defense is.
Leonard's going to be judged in the playoffs, not regular season.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one thing I will say, And Kurtlo, if you have anything to go against what I'm saying, this is just me watching games. The one thing on James Harden is sometimes in the playoffs he hasn't been the James Harden we expect. He's kind of been
last 2 years. Last 2 years, he's changed that. Let me tell you something with James Harden. He's a nightmare to Popovich. They don't have an answer for him.
No, and
let me tell you something. The Rockets will send the Spurs home in the playoffs.
Yep.
But the Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies will send the Rockets home because they don't play defense.
Think so? See, I think the Rockets can squeak by Memphis. Utah scares me if that's who the Rockets got to play. That's the one. They struggle with Utah.
I think Utah's a scary matchup for anybody though.
Nah, the only you know who Utah sucks against? Golden State. Golden State pounds them. I don't know why. Golden State hammers them. And last year, Golden State struggled with Utah, but this year they've handled them.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I remember last year, the Jazz were one of the only teams to give them.
Yeah, two teams that gave Golden State the problems a year ago were the Jazz and the Celtics. Yep, it's that speed. Yeah. Like as fast as Golden State wants to play, those teams like faster and can have young bodies. They give the Warriors problems. And that's why healthy, I don't see the Spurs beating Golden State or Houston. As great as they are, I just don't see it. That's my take on it. But I think that's we're about to wrap this up. Gonzo, let everybody know where they can find you at for all the new listeners today, because I know we had a few.
You can find me on Twitter at DJ Gonzo Star.
Outstanding. Julian, let the people know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at JHLMYK94.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kurtlo, you still with us?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I lost connection.
Let all the people know, all the people who might not know who you are yet, let them know where they can find you.
I'm at SWH Town, HTOWN 30 on Twitter. And anytime anybody wants to talk about basketball, hit me up.
Absolutely. Kurtlo's always down for a debate. And all you listeners to Sirius NBA Radio, man, you'll hear Kurtlo on there from time to time. You'll hear him call in. Always good stuff. Always. I can attest to that. And everybody
gotta represent for Houston, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all can find me at Matt UQR Podcast. And I also want to shout out 16 Wins the Ring. A lot of good content on there. A lot of good writing content from our very own Keith Smith and Alana Tahauer. So everybody, please go check that out. Also on iTunes, you can find us Unquestionably Raw NBA Podcast. Download, subscribe, give us that 5-star rating. Also, leave a comment so that we can know how you think we're doing. And then for everybody watching on YouTube on our page, jump in the comments section. Let us know. You got any disagreements with our opinions? Hey, we're always up for debate. Let us know. But until next time, we will see y'all next week.